Give me the biggest turkey of the baseball season.
The biggest turkey of the baseball season for the San Francisco Giants. Come on, man. We know who it is. It's Joc Pederson. Joc Pederson in a series in Cincinnati. Midway through the season, this was around May 27th, May 28th, May 29th. We're actually at Bottle Rock. You were explaining this before the show. We're at Bottle Rock, so we didn't see it live. When we got home, we saw all the highlights
I couldn't
and everything.
it.
And Tommy Pham over fantasy football slapped Joc Pederson. And here's what Joc had to say about the slap.
Slapped you?
Yeah, that happened. That was the only physical part.
That was the only physical part.
We were in a fantasy league together. I put a player on the injured reserve when they were listed as out, added another player. There was a text message in the group saying that I was cheating because I was stashing players on my bench. I don't know, I looked up the rules and sent a screenshot of the rules, how it says that when a player is ruled out, you're allowed to put him on the IR. That's all I was doing. It just so happened that he had a player, Jeff Wilson, who was out, and he had him on the IR, and I said, you literally have the same thing on your team, on your bench. And then I guess he was in 2 leagues, and in one of them he was on the IR, and one of them he wasn't. So maybe that was a confusion, but the ESPN league we were in, it was listed as out. It feels very similar to what I did, and that was basically all of it. There's not much more to it.
Oh,
Not
man.
much to it, other than all of these intricacies of fantasy football and me getting slapped. Was there a physical altercation? Yes, there was.
The best
But
part
that's all there was a slap.
Who's the commissioner? Mike Trout, wasn't he?
You can't even make this story up.
So hold on. Jocko, where the slap happened.
I mean, it was over a year ago. No, there was no real argument. He kind of came up and said, you remember from last year? And I was like, fantasy football? And he's like, yeah. Yeah.
Where did he slap you?
In the cheek. There was a decent amount of people around and didn't get emotional, and don't think violence is the answer, I guess you could say. So I kind of left the situation. Some other players were out there, and when the bench is clear, but it was batting practice. There was nothing more to it. Like I said, it was an unfortunate situation for over a fantasy football league rule, or wasn't a rule, and so yeah.
I mean, who hasn't been there in their friend group getting in a fight over fantasy football?
We've all been there. We've all been there.
I want to know what that group thread looked like.
Well, there was a lot of money involved, Joe Shasky.
Yeah, I've heard that a few times.
There was a lot of money involved in it. I did send GIF in the group chat that was making fun of the Padres. It was supposed to be a friendly thing, just making fun of they were playing bad and just talking back and forth. He did not like that and responded, Joc, I don't know you well enough to make any jokes like this. So then I wrote back, it was meant to be all fun and games. No hard feelings. Sorry if you took it that way. And then about 2 weeks later, after like week 4 or 5, he ended up leaving the league, and there's been no communication since. But like I said, it is true. I did send a GIF making fun of the Padres, and if I hurt anyone's feelings, I apologize for that.
This guy's making $19 million a year this year, and he's the #1 recruiter for Aaron Judge.
And nobody's going to play fantasy football with him. You think Farhan Zaidi's letting him into a fantasy football league?
Is he worse than Damon in a fantasy football league?
Oh, my God.
Because Damon is like notoriously brutal in our fantasy league.
Terrible. He wins 4 games a year.
Yeah.
Joc Pederson. Hey, some will say that slap slapped the soul out of the Giants.
It did.
Because they just went. I mean, it got me mad. I was like, nobody did anything.
No
you
one
let
did
somebody
anything.
slap you. But the fact that he didn't like Tommy Pham was like, nah, this ain't all funny games. Don't be making fun of the
Tommy
Padres.
Pham was dead serious.
He was dead
and
serious.
Tommy Pham served a larger suspension than Draymond. That's the funniest. He served a longer suspension than Draymond. Here's the funniest part: the visualization. I'll never forget. We're coming back from Bottle Rock, and I said, "Babe, open my text line because everybody's texting me, and let's look at the video." And I'm driving on 101 coming south back to San Francisco, and I'm looking at the video, and it's Joc with like the blonde like bleached mohawk, whatever you call it, and he's got a tiny little backpack on, and it was like big man with little backpack. The visualization of him talking about getting slapped over fantasy football, I couldn't stop laughing.
Dude, and then when the Reds came to Oracle Park, they started wearing Tommy Pham t-shirts. Remember that?
Dude.
They came.
Dude.
They were wearing red shirts.
Bro.
Remember the old Batman with Adam West where
Yes.
it'd be like, bam,
Yeah.
pow,
Wow.
Wow. So they wore red T-shirts with Pham. And it was like an emphasized Pham. So they were riding with their boy. Joc, and the cold part
Robins were in trouble.
Poor Joc Pederson. The year before, apparently, he was like hiding in the clubhouse. He wouldn't come out because he knew Tommy Pham was lurking.
You don't mess with Tommy Pham either. That guy was at the nightclub with the sweatpants on. Remember there was the whole stabbing incident?
Did he stab his dad?
Yeah,
Did he stab his dad?
Dude, he's about that life.
He is about that life.
He's Benzino. Didn't Benzino stab Paul Pierce?
Yeah, like
or
10
his
times.
boys did?
Benzino. Oh, my God. Loving hip-hop.
Benzino.
You know Tommy Pham is crazy because when somebody sends a GIF you don't like in a group chat, you leave the group chat or block that user or mute them or whatever. He's like, I'm going to stab that guy.
Yeah, but haven't you been in group chats?
Fight that guy.
Haven't you been in group chats where you're like, oh, this is going to get real ugly when these two see each other? Because I had a
For
situation
sure.
like that.
Dude, it does get
family.
We've all had to kick people. We've all had to kick
Thanksgiving
people
at
out of
the
fantasy baseball. One more time, Turkey of the Year,
And it's
Joc
over
Pederson.
Jeff Wilson Jr.
I did send the
Jeff
GIF.
Wilson Jr.
I did send the GIF.
Oh my God, the last one.
You can't handle the GIF.
Slapped you.
Yeah, that happened.
Yes,
That was just that was the only physical part. Yeah, we were in a fantasy league together.
Yes, that
I
happened.
put a player on the injured reserve when they were listed as out. Added another player. There was a text message in the group saying that I was cheating because I was stashing players on my bench. I don't know. I looked up the rules and sent a screenshot of the rules. How it says that when a player is ruled out, you're allowed to put him on the IR. That's all I was doing. It just so happened that he had a player, Jeff Wilson, who was out, and he had him on the IR. And I said, you literally have the same thing on your team, on your bench. And then I guess he was in 2 leagues, and in one of them he was on the IR, and one of them he wasn't. So maybe that was a confusion. But the ESPN league we were in, it was listed as out. It feels very similar to what I did, and that was basically all of it. There's not much more to it.
We're sending that guy to recruit Aaron Judge.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
And it might work.
And you know what? He was at Chase Center with the Warriors championship hat, and the fans love him. Keeps his sticker on the hat.
Oh, I love Joc. I love Joc. It's also hilarious, no?
It is comical.
And the fact that shout out to Joc Pederson actually for laying it out as in depth as he
That's a good
did,
point.
So
and not
eloquent.
just going like, it's a thing. Don't really
Right.
want to talk about it.
He was so eloquent in describing what happened.
Yes, that did happen.
In one
Yes,
league,
that did happen.
You know, one league we stashed Jeff Wilson Jr. I needed a roster spot. There was a lot of money on the line. It was all funny games on the thread. Oh man, that's our Turkey of the Year, Joc Pederson. We do have a bonus turkey.
Oh, we have a bonus turkey?
We have a bonus turkey.
Bonus turkey?
A bonus turkey.
This is like
And-
finding that little bit of plate. Like, you know, you have the big plate with all the leftovers, and then you find the little plate that someone made for someone else and they didn't pick it up, and it's in the back of the fridge.
Oh, dude, yeah. So,
Leftovers.
true story.
I can't wait.
Friend of mine, Aaron Turner, right?
Okay.
He's at my crib for Thanksgiving. Mom's makes mashed potatoes. My mom's mashed potatoes is mean. She set aside a plate for herself, right? After making everybody's food.
Okay.
Aaron Turner scarfs his food. This kid is only 5'7", about 160 pounds, and eats like, I don't know where it goes.
High metabolism.
Yeah, high metabolism. Yeah, he just
I
eats,
can relate.
Eats. My mom's looking for a plate. She's like, hey, what happened to my plate? Aaron Turner scraped me the plate.
No, he did not.
Oh, I thought this was just extras. And she was like, what? Like, you get those people. So you get those people who are just lingering, and they're just grabbing plates.
Yeah.
They're grabbing plates.
It's always the skinny guys.
It's always the skinny guys.
Yeah, and
Always.
we do this fat shaming thing when in reality the skinny people are the ones with the highest metabolism rate.
Yeah, I used to be skinny.
And they also eat junk, like just tons of junk.
Tons of junk.
And they can get away with it.
All right,
so give me the bonus turkey.
The bonus one. Do we have the sound over there, fellas? The sound of the bonus turkey of the year. Go ahead and play it. This is this has to do with the White Sox. And
The
White
White
Sox
Sox
fans.
Now,
Wait a second. They're going to intentionally walk him.
on 1 and 2.
Yep.
Can you explain that to me?
I would think you don't want Turner to do any more damage, and you want to take advantage of the lefty-lefty.
Typically, at 2 strikes, the league batting average is quite low.
Oh, yeah.
High fly ball the other way. Pollock's going back. It's gone! 3-run home run for Max Muncy. They put Trey Turner on intentionally with a 1-2 count, choosing to go Sousa Muncy, and he makes him pay with an opposite field 3-run shot.
So, Tony La Russa, the turkey, bonus turkey, because as you heard from ABC Sports Chicago, they're playing the Dodgers in a series in mid-May, May 18th. They're playing the series, Trey Turner, 1-2 count. And Tony La Russa's like, let's walk him. Let's walk him. Intentional walk. And even the fans are like, what the hell are we doing?
With 2 strikes.
And you hear the Chicago White Sox announcer, Stone, he's like, what are we doing? And then you hear Joe Davis here on the Dodgers Radio Network. Next at that, Max Muncy goes yard for a 3-run homer. Analytics, folks. Analytics. And Tony La Russa, now he's gone. And it was a coincidence, huh? That they played a lot better when Tony La Russa got sick and had to step away from the team. I mean, that's just, we got a few turkeys, but that was a bonus turkey for baseball.
Well, and also Tony La Russa has been a big-time turkey off the field.
Quietly, he asked.
He needs a limo driver.
Yeah, he needs, I mean, the fact that they hired him
was a joke.
Back was a joke.
And then everybody looking so saucy in those pinstripe black jerseys that they have. And then he looks so out of place in that.
Dude, the Southside uniforms.
They're so sick.
Southside.
They're so sick.
The best part was this from the fan, though.
Got 2 strikes.
Like, bro, what are you doing? What are we doing,
You know what my dad
Tony?
says when there's 2 strikes? Doo-doo ball! Doo-doo ball!
Throw it in the dirt?
Throw him anything that's not a strike. Sounds like my dad.
You got 2 strikes, Tony! All right, so turkeys
Tony La
in
Russa.
the game of baseball. Turkeys of the year.
And the crazy thing is, he is one of the great managers of all time. That's the craziest part.
I know. He is good.
I mean, he is,
I
B.
mean, but, you know, Tony La
He won
Russa,
World Series with 2 different organizations.
I mean, when he was a Cardinals manager, him and Dusty stopped getting along. Because Tony La Russa, you hit him, he was the definition of old school.
Yes.
You were going to get smacked with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Absolutely.
Dusty and Tony got into it multiple times. Tony also got into it with Lloyd McClendon multiple times.
McClendon.
Remember that?
That's
Pirates
a name
Cardinals?
I haven't thought of in a long time.
I swear, Shaska, I swear to God.
Lloyd McClendon.
I remember watching baseball tonight. They're showing highlights of Pirates Cardinals, right? And Tony hits one of the Pirates, and the Pirates stuck at that point. This is like before Jason Bay and Matt Long.
Okay.
And Lloyd McClendon's sitting in the dugout after seeing one of his players get hit, and he's by himself. And his hat is just on, and he's like this. Oh, it's on.
Oh, I love it.
It's on. And then, you know, there's brawls for the next 4 games in that series. So.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
I love
Anyway.
when baseball polices itself.
So we got Zach Littell,
Yeah.
as one of the turkeys.
Refusing to come out.
Right. Gabe Kapler, Mauricio Dubon.
Yeah. It's going to be on Twitter. You can vote on Twitter.
Vote on Twitter. At Morning Roast 957. Tommy Pham slapping Joc Pederson.
I think that's got to be number 1.
I mean, hold on, just one more time.
There was a lot of money involved in it. I did send GIF in the group chat that was making fun of the Padres. It was supposed to be a friendly thing, just making fun of they were playing bad and just talking back and forth. He did not like that and responded, "Joc, I don't know you well enough to make any jokes like this." So then I wrote back, "Was meant to be all fun and games. No hard feelings. Sorry if you took it that way." And then about 2 weeks later, after like week 4 or 5, he ended up leaving the league, and there's been no communication since. But like I said, it is true. I did send a GIF making fun of the Padres, and if I hurt anyone's feelings, I apologize for that.
They were playing bad, and I sent the gift. And Tommy Pham was like, "Yo, bro, it ain't."
He gave him the TI. You don't know me.
You don't know me.
You
and it
might
ain't
see
funny.
me on the streets. You don't know
This
me.
slump isn't funny, homie.
Wow. How many teams has Tommy Pham been on?
Oh my gosh,
Like 9?
Dude, he was on the Red Sox. He started hitting leadoff home runs.
Well, I mean,
I started paying attention to him. So, Joc Pederson, Gabe Kapler, Zach Littell. Because of the incident here, I'm going to play this cut as well.
I think Zach wanted to stay in that game. Obviously, he's a competitor and wanted to finish that inning. And I think it was just his wanting me to know that he wanted to finish that inning. There's obviously a way to do that. Zach knows that. We discussed it, and he knows that when I come out to get the ball, he just needs to put the ball in my hand, and we'll talk about anything later. We open the door for conversations around when players enter and exit games, and I'm happy to discuss those things with players. There's a way to do that. I think Zach understands that.
What was that? What was that movie? What pimp movie was it? Put the money in my hand.
Oh, what movie?
Was that Flow and Hustle?
Hustle and Flow?
Yeah.
Put the money in my hand.
Put the money in my hand. You don't remember that?
I don't remember that. What movie? What line is it?
I don't know. I forget. Someone's gonna remember. Two cats, 2 strikes.
By the way, our turkeys for baseball. We're going to move on and go to our
Vote on
turkeys for
Twitter.
football. Vote on Twitter at Morty Roast 957 at Morty Roast 957. Where's my baby powder, Joc Pederson?
Where's my baby powder?
Joc Pederson. They said, dude, those shows when we had to discuss that slap heard around the world, it was like, Mark, the Giants got the soul slapped out of them. The slap changed the season. Nobody had his back. How come nobody fought for Joc? He's a good dude. He took it like a man, though, and he described it.